Mabuhay! My name is Rema and welcome to my art space. Tumungo kami sa Capri Island Art Cafe sa San Pedro, Laguna para suportahan ng isang kasining sa kanyang first ever solo show na pinamagatang Formed by Grace, in Line, Lights, and Faith. So, ito pong kasining po natin, actually, hindi lang siya isang visual artist. Sobrang talented po niyang tao. She can express herself in different ways, not only in art, but she's also a singer-songwriter and also a makeup artist and a mental health advocate. So, sana po ay samahan niyo po ako at ating kilalanin po natin si Ivy Alon-Alon Madamba.
Okay, I'm Ivy Madamba and actually I'm a singer-songwriter talaga, no? And well, I started painting last October 2025. Nagkaroon ako ng epiphany in a way because that week, like Sunday of that week, sabi ko, I can see myself painting again. And then, pagdating ng Tuesday, so that was a Sunday, pagdating ng Tuesday, ano kasi ako para akong caregiver in a way, parang travel nurse. Dahil yung husband ko, nagdadialysis, ang mother ko naman ay medyo nasa therapy. So, my house is in Parañaque and San Pedro ang nanay, no? Yun yung house namin. So, what happened was, pag ganyan-ganyan ako. And that week, I was bound to San Pedro. And that particular Tuesday, nahulog ako. Nahulog ako sa napakaliit lang na taas, no? So, that was because I was gonna look for, or I mean, inaabot ko ang isang board game. So that day, nahulog ako, namaga ang tuhod ko, and what happened was, immobilized ako. So, kinast ang leg ko. That's the day na nagsimula ulit akong mag-paint. No? So, yun ang dahilan kung ba't ako naandito ngayon sa visual art community. And yun na nga, I'm a mother of 3. My son is actually turning 26 this July, and my daughter just turned 24, and my son, youngest, ay 16 years old.
So you mentioned na you started last year lang.
Last year lang talaga, October.
Pero did you already have a background before that?
Okay, wala talaga akong formal background. Wala talaga. No? Pero I remember myself na I'm very fond of shading. No? Shading talaga. Yung black and white lang. Gusto ko yung dark na dinalalight ko. Tapos ang gusto ko talagang topic, ang mga pictures nun ay si Mickey Mouse at si Minnie Mouse.
But I mean, before you rediscovered yung art, what were you doing before?
Oh well, I'm marami. Okay, siguro simula na lang tayo ng saan ako nagmula. I mean, you know, I'm from San Pedro, which is this. I'm from San Pedro, Laguna, and then graduate ako ng Liceo de San Pedro,
okay.
Elementary till high school, and then I went to Cora Doloroso pa, no, 6-month na secretarial course, and then I went to St. Paul, Manila.
Music talaga yung ano mo.
Ang gusto ko, well, actually, in between those St. Paul and Liceo, inaral ko, or I was enrolled at the Center for Pop Music Philippines.
Ooh, same tayo.
Ay, talaga? Sa Cubao?
Pero sa school namin mismo. Kasi
pumupunta. Yes, pumupunta. So ako naman sa Maine, which is in Cubao.
Oh, the Maine.
Yes, sa Cubao.
Training, no?
Oo, ang galing. So, I was a graduate of basic, advanced, and then performance level and concert training.
Wow!
Yan.
Pero yung makeup, di ba meron
Meron pa akong makeup, yes. So, okay. So, after pala nun, sige, nag-St. Paul ako, no?
Yeah.
Initially, 1 year akong nursing student.
Okay.
Pero subalit, kinulang ako ng 2 points sa average para maging second year. So, I shifted from nursing to hotel and restaurant management.
Okay.
And also, that's the reason why I was in the hotel industry where I was pirated by Avon Cosmetics. Pero bago yon, kumakanta ako sa banda.
Oh, you have your own band.
Yes, no, I have my own band which is called Wave Band. As in wave, as in
Wait.
alon. Tama-tama, alon-alon talaga yung ano ko eh. Yan. Wave Band, diba yun? Then, I also had the Flip Side Band.
Okay.
Dalawa, diba? Nakakatuwa
Bongga.
na. Flip Side. Flip Side is 70s and Wave Band. Kaya siya wave is because 80s. Diba wave, new wave.
Yeah,
ganon.
oh, I
Yes. So, at the time, actually, si Sir Ronnie Henares, na manager ni Regine Velasquez, na idol ko. Ang gusto ko talaga na nag-submit ako and he was able to say, sige, and ma-manage na niya ako eh. However, ayaw ni mother kasi gusto niya magka-graduate muna. That's the story of me singing. Although, in fairness to nanay, talagang siya naman ang dahilan kung bakit ako natuto ng bonggang-bongga ng pagkanta.
Siya ang first music coach mo.
Siguro siya yung composer. Kasi ang coach ko talaga tatay ko.
Alright.
Si nanay kasi, mahilig siya mag-invento. Mag-invento ng mga songs.
Both of them are in the musical side.
Musical ears.
Okay.
May mga musical ears sila. However, si nanay kasi, mahilig siyang mag-invento ng, kunyari, di ba noong panahon na nag-Saudi Arabia kasi si tatay at 5 years old ako yung panganay, nag-Saudi si tatay. So, parang ang ano niya is cassette tape, di ba?
Yeah.
Okay, so tatlo kami magkakapatid, yung doktor kong bunso, si Dr. Remy, tapos yung middle na si Dennis, no, yung aking brother who is in the US, no, aircraft engineer naman siya. So, when we were small, iharap kami ni nanay sa cassette, and then sabihin natin, okay, so sige, sabihin nyo ganitong kanta. Mano po aming tatay, kami po'y bumabati. Magandang araw po, ito po'y pinaghirapan ng mahal naming nanay. Kaya tatay, sana po ay magustuhan. Ayan! Diba? Tapos na-realize ko na, nito na lang, na-realize ko, sabi ko, alo, siguro kay nanay ko talaga nakuha yung
songwriting
yes. Pero ang tatay kasi, siguro visual din siya because auto painter kasi si tatay sa Saudi. Tapos si nanay naman, nag-excel siya sa PE. Alam mo yun, sa dance, ganyan, song, ganyan. Kasi teacher ang nanay ko eh.
So you can say na kumbaga, the artsy side,
doon
nakuha
talaga
mo sa father mo din.
And nanay din.
And mother din.
Yan.
Tapos kumbaga parang dinala mo siya, no? Pero let's say parang, I wouldn't say late bloomer, parang ngayon lang na.
Yes, actually, for the art.
Yeah.
Oo. Sabi ko nga, kanina dun, I think talagang, may tamang oras talaga yung pagdating ng gift sa'yo. Or maybe, andun na siya, but you don't really look at it as, hindi siguro. Alam mo yung minsan, di ba tayo parang sila, ano kaya yun? Hindi naman para kang si Rajan, ano iniisip mo, di ba ganyan? Pero the truth is, nagda-download na pala sa'yo ng information. Di ba?
Yeah.
Ganon. Like for example, sa songwriting, I used to play the piano, nag-iimbento lang ako. Lalo na yung dumating si Mariah Carey, yung favorite ko eh. Meron siya nung kanta na talagang parang halos nilalapit ko yung melody. I hope I can still remember that. Pero I would believe na yun yung una kong na-inventong kante. Oo.
Okay, let's go to the the art side of your art.
Yeah. Okay.
Where did you get your inspiration sa mga paintings?
Okay, alam mo, ito ang unang-una kong nagawa. The color, maybe you will see it as very light, very happy, very feminine. Yung aura niya is very positive, no? Because sabi ko sa'yo, nung ako'y that particular Tuesday yun eh. Wednesday ako nagsimula.
Okay.
And ako, honestly, I'm a fan of Mama Mel.
The theme, no? Mother and child.
Ano lang siya eh. Parang alam mo yun, yung my sister kasi is an OB-GYN doctor. So, sabi niya, ate, gawan mo naman ako ng gawan mo naman ako ng mother and child. Ito, ginawa ko talaga yan. Yan yung una, para sa kanya. Pero mas nagustuhan niya yung bundes na meron kasing bundes.
Yeah.
Pero alam mo, for some reason, ito, di ba, nanggaling na to sa mga dalawa. Sa Trilliona at sa Blanco. Alam mo yung nasa mind ko? Siyempre, as an artist, gusto mo mabenta, pero may kalahating sana hindi. Kasi, akin ka lang sana. Parang, siguro pag dumating ang takdang owner niya, 'di ba? You know, yung somebody really na ano. Actually, this one and that one na sold na. And
like
that one, and that one. So those are the first three na aking
The mother and child.
Yes, mother and child. So kung mapapansin mo, I think were you there sa Blanco na na sinabi ni Miss Maribel, one of the masters then, na nahahappy siya kasi nakikita niya yung childhood niya, yung cotton candy, pumupunta sa luneta, na nagmumukhang bibili ka ng lollipop, di ba yung lollipop na pabilog na ganyan?
Yeah.
So in other words, di ba, when it pertains to visual arts kasi, it evokes a certain feeling when you look at it, di ba? Yung para bang kinakausap ka niya, parang nami-mesmerize ka, tapos biglang may maalala ka. Pagkatapos nito, sinimulan ko yung 3 series na.
Ito.
Yeah. So ito parang I would say these are the floral. And kung mapapansin mo to, circular, 'di ba? Para kasi ako naglalaro lang.
Yeah.
Yung parang nagre-relax ako, pero parang sabi ko nga I'm in the zone and I just flow, parang ganyan.
Yeah.
Tapos syempre later on, nung nakakausap na ako talaga ng sabihin natin na mga masters, sila ngayon naggagabay. Sabi niya, katulad na lang ni Sir Ding, yung unang curator na nagtiwala sa akin. Sabi niya, maganda pero masyadong light. So, pero parang it's all light. So, it should have a medium and a dark color. And so, nag-aaral ako ngayon ng floral abstract kay Miss Hazel.
Wow.
So, this
Si Miss
is,
Hazel, yeah.
oh yes, this is my output. And then I realized, oh, now I know.
I like that.
You like this, di ba?
Ano ko sa
Ang
flowers.
ganda, di ba? So sabi ko nga nung nakita ko, tapos sabi ko, wow, painter na talaga ako. kasi naintindihan ko na siya. Because you know, I'm also a makeup artist, di ba?
Yeah.
Okay, in makeup, I know the hue, the color, the dark, the light, the ano. But in painting, syempre iba naman yun eh, di ba? So kailangan talaga, okay, for those na nanonood sa atin ngayon, having the passion is very important. However, you really need to equate or to equip yourself in the real education for you to be able to better yourself in painting.
That's right.
Itong painting na to, I'm very proud to say that Tintin Bersola Babaw bought this one.
That one. Yeah, I saw that on your Facebook.
Sa Facebook kasi I guested for the first time nung April 9, Araw ng Kalayaan. So yun. So nakita niya to and sabi niya akin na yan. Ilagay mo so to Christina. So there you go. So the other one naman, the tree, it's with the Sir Julius Babang.
Oh. By the way, how did you formulate yung
Ito.
first art show? Yeah.
Okay. Di ba ang pangalan nito is Formed by Grace, no?
Yeah.
Formed by Grace, no? Bakit? Kasi totoo naman yun eh. Sa atin naman talagang lahat, binubuo talaga tayo ng grasya yun. Kung wala ang grasya ng Diyos, hindi talaga tayo makakasurvive sa buong earth, di ba? So, ako, siguro, malalim ang hugot ng buhay ko, that is for sure, as it goes to my songwriting. Di ba sabi nila, kapag hindi mo nasabi ng bibig, isulat mo na lang, ikanta mo. Dito, sa ating art, kung hindi mo kayang sabihin, ipinta mo, di ba? So, if you want a better world, you can paint a better world, di ba? If you want a better surrounding, a nice tree, a golden tree, you can have a golden tree, di ba? If you want a fairy tale scenario na lalabas si Ina Magenta, pwede rin.
Why not?
Why not, diba? So those are my idea. So I wanted to rule out my style in painting, the flower and the swirl, And then the tree that is sort of like a psychedelic tree na parang 70s na, 'di ba? Katulad niyan, yung gustong-gusto ng mga masters.
Yeah.
So, alam mo, maybe there's a reason why hindi siya nabibili, no? Kasi katulad na ng sinabi ni Sir Nemi, that particular one, no? Sabi niya, I should concentrate on that and that I could build a bigger one. Oo. Alam mo, it's very nice talaga na we're surrounded by kind-hearted and not madamot na mga mentor. Kasi sa totoong buhay, hindi talaga ako magaling mag-drawing eh. Like, I don't draw figures ng tao, ganyan. Siguro, banana, apple, mga ganyan. Pwede. Pero yun talagang intricately like ganyan. Hindi ko forte yun. And I really love textured paint.
Alright.
Or yung ganon. So, kung makikita mo naman dito sa kaliwa, all of these are textured painting.
Oh, yeah. Saan siya? Ay, sorry.
Okay lang, okay.
Saan siya?
So this is plaster of Paris.
Alright.
And at the same time, this is just a normal drinking coffee cup.
Oh,
Okay.
That's
So
cool.
I formed it there like a vase.
Oh, that's so cool.
Yeah, it's like a vase. And then, yeah, mixed media siya. And then, yung makikita mo dito, talagang naka-up siya. That particular one, no, ano siya, palette painting. No, hindi ako gumamit ng brush dyan. As in, palette lang.
Yeah.
Ganyan lang ako ng ganyan. And then, that one, yung Golden 8 na yan, it has eggshell.
I see. Kaya yung texture niya.
Yung texture niya. Kasi sa totoo lang, nung nag-start ako mag-paint, na nawiwirduhan sa akin, noong unang panahon, mga 2012, I started I don't know, maybe it's a prelude to this. Yung mga yung ng itlog, dinudurog ko, tapos tinatago ko. Tapos mga dahon. I love lahat ng klase ng dahon. Actually, I will be having, probably, that's gonna be another show na i-curate.
Alright.
Pero, all about leaves naman siya. Ganon. Na parang gagawin ko na livelihood ng isang, ito sabihin ko na,
Sige.
livelihood ng mga supultorero at supultorera. Meron kasi ako nakita na that particular leaf ng tree is very pretty, super pretty.
So, ito ngayon, no, how are you able to, kumbaga, na-emerge mo, ang dami mong ang talent music, art, how are you able to merge all of that? Kumbaga, paano mo sila na i-balance lahat?
Alam mo, meron akong focus day. So, with music, I have a lot of songs na andyan na lang siya for recording. Dito ako ngayon nakafocus sa art. So, alam mo masaya sa ating mga artists. Meron tayong focus day. For example, today I'm gonna be, kasi by the way, I also cook because hotel and restaurant management ako, no? So, meron akong sinusupplyan na pasta na cafe.
Okay.
So, meron akong day to cook. And then, in the middle, while I'm cooking, I'm doing art.
Wow.
I'm listening to music. Alam mo, masayang maging creative.
Yeah.
And also, ito, i-ano na natin, itong lane na to, ay gawa ko rin, no? Marami, oo. So, at marami pang iba. Because if you're a creative, lahat pwede mong gawin. Tapos, masaya rin ako magturo because talagang training manager ako for several years.
So ano masasabi mo that this is about your first show? For me, it's a success. Congratulations.
Yes, thank you so much. Thank you. Firstly, I really am very thankful to the Lord because kung wala siya, kung wala ang guidance niya, sa lahat pati sa money, no, because hindi madaling magbuo ng ganito. Ay, yung unti-unti na nakita mo, meron ka ng pyesa, pwede na. No, I really wanted to say thank you. Hindi madaling magbuo, but ito nga yung sabi ko kapag ka-holding hands mo si God, ang sarap. Ang saya. Kasi yung every minute, every moment, na parang, yun yung sinasabi nila na ang weird. Ano, kinakausap mo? Yes, kinakausap ko sa isip ko. And, ang bilis, no? Masaya. Basta masaya siya.
Encouragement na lang dun sa mga
Oo.
other people na
Yeah.
mga marami ng skills si Kangap. They want to
Oo.
try art but they're scared.
Yeah, okay. Alam ninyo, okay, I forgot to mention I'm also a mental health advocate, no? And you know, art really is a very therapeutic way to calm your nervous system, no? Yung anxiety ninyo, yung question ninyo na kaya ko ba to? Kasi para ka lang naglalaro, nobody will judge you, no? And for all you know, pag pinost mo, ako nga sa totoo lang, wala akong kabalak-balak, no? Kasi, ito nga, yung first 3 na na ginawa, pinost ko lang, tapos na namin nag-react. Ay, ang ganda naman niya. So, nagkaroon ako ng idea. And you know, sabi nga ng priests and pastors and all of those na nag-encourage, sabi nila, gusto mong yumaman, gusto mong magkaroon ng negosyo, gusto mo ng ganito, gusto mo ng ganyan, pwede. But, you need to be very intentional because you know why? Dahil there's gonna be chances where God would really give you, no? Kasi kailangan mong ramdamin.
Yeah.
Kailangan mong ramdamin na eto na yon. Uy, alam mo, binibigyan ka na ng chance ni Lord. Sabi nila, 3 daw yan eh. 3, no? Number 1 is, gusto mo, pero hindi pa gusto ng langit.
Aha.
And then, gusto ng langit, pero ikaw naman ang umayaw.
Okay.
Ready ka na, tapos
At the
ready na
right
yung
time.
langit. So, ito yun.
Yeah.
So, for all of those na ayaw mag-try, natatakot and all, no. Sabi nga ng mga masters na teachers naming lahat sa art community, just try it. And always make sure na, alam mo yon, ikaw ay sabihin na natin na, do not be afraid. Because, si God ang bahala. Papalabas niya yan lahat sa'yo. Okay? Basta make sure na masipag ka. Make sure na you glorify Him through your art. And wala kang tinatapakang tao. Always be kind. And that's it.
Thank you so much, Miss Ivy.
Yeah,
So
thank you rin
So if you like this video, please click the like button. And also if you're here in my channel for the first time, please subscribe. And also click the bell button so you'd be notified of future videos from me. Again, my name is Rema. And I hope you'd stay with me. And also follow me for more episodes and interview with other fellow artists like me. Or you could watch some of my videos about the way that I make art, and some of them are also tutorials. And I'm so glad that you're with me, and I hope to see you again in my next art space. Bye! Mabuhay! Welcome! Ano nga ba yung pangalan ko? Mabuhay! My name is Rema and welcome to my art space. Rema, umayos ka, walang ventilador.